Today we're here to talk about how to develop leadership skills in employees. I love that you're asking this question because it means that you as a leader don't see yourself as being threatened in any way by the leadership ability of your people. Great leaders are the ones who open doors for others. Let's do that. In this video, I want to talk about the idea that you really don't train leadership. You develop leadership through practice. If your employees are waiting to be told, we need to move them to be ready to lead. And leadership isn't something that you do to your employees. Leadership is more about how you help them develop. At the end of this video, I want you to be able to understand how to grow your employees as leaders in their own right. And I want to help you build a culture of recursive, reflective leadership growth. So it's an ongoing conversation within your team. If you want your employees to lead and to grow as leaders, you need to be able to help them build their own leadership practices and do the same thing for others. So I run lots of innovation capacity development programs, and what I do every time I'm running one is I set it up so that the leaders that we are looking to build more innovation capacity for and with, I sandwich them in between the leadership team, which would be the VP and the C-level leaders, and the managers or leaders' own teams, because it's through that process of learning somewhat in a fishbowl, where you have people looking down at you and looking up at you as you build your innovation leadership capacity or your leadership capacity. It's that ability to be able to live within two recursive loops that accelerates the learning. So when you start thinking about helping your people build practices, what you're looking to do is you're looking to put them into situations where they're going to have lots of feedback loops coming to them. I've done a number of other videos about how to help you build your own leadership practices. And one of the most important things that I've talked about, that I believe I've talked about in there, hopefully you're finding that too, is that your ability to be able to observe leadership in others and distinguish what it is that they are doing. So you can see someone as a great leader and you can go, they're great, they're doing really effective leadership. I wonder what it is that they are doing. And as you start paying attention to them over a period of time, you'll start recognizing particular practices that they do. It might be that they listen really effectively to their people. It might be that they co-invent really effectively with their leaders. There are a number of different practices that great leaders will exhibit on a pretty consistent basis. Every so often there will be a unique one or two, and those are really worth paying attention to. But as you start distinguishing what are the leadership practices that people are doing, you want to be able to help your own team observe those leadership practices as well. You can instruct them on what to do all you want, and sometimes you do need to do that, but if you rely on that too heavily, you're going to miss the growth opportunities for your people. You're going to be able to create growth opportunities for your people by helping them be able to do the observation for themselves. So as you go through your leadership growth journey yourself, if you can share that learning with the people who work for you at the same time, you will accelerate their opportunities. So if you're listening to these videos, and I really encourage you to subscribe to the channel, it's totally free. I'm doing videos on this every single day of the month. And I would love you to be able to let me know how valuable they are for you. But as you go through this process of developing your own leadership skills, and presumably that's why you're here listening to me to do that, is you want to be able to do the same thing with your people. You can get them to subscribe here as well, and hopefully it'll help them too. But what you're doing is you're going through your leadership journey and you're showing them what you're doing as you're doing it. So you can start with observe and distinguish, and maybe that's a conversation that you have with them for 10 minutes at the beginning of a weekly meeting, where you're saying, okay, so we saw one of our VPs speak last week. What are the practices that you saw her or him making that you considered to be important or valuable? And then we open the door for people to begin to start building those practices for themselves. Over time, what I've noticed is that people who build out their own practices become role models for others, and they also directly help others build their practices. Now, one of the most important practices of a leader is the ability to be able to make offers, and we've talked about that in a number of other videos. But you want to be able to open the door for your people to make offers to you, to be able to see something that isn't working, or see a new opportunity or a new possibility, to be able to go away and think about how they can add value and how they can make that come to fruition, or how they can solve that problem. And if they're doing those things, you want to have your door open to be able to listen to those offers on an ongoing basis. Sometimes that's not always easy to find the time to do that, but it's a key part of being able to build your people's leadership skills. If they're knocking on your door or they're jumping on a Zoom call with you and they are offering to fix a problem or offering to pursue an opportunity, the opportunity for you in there is to be able to help them craft that into something that is actually valuable for you. Invariably, what happens when people start first making offers to you, they're going to be clumsy, they're going to be awkward, they're going to be uncomfortable, they're going to make mistakes, and your job is to be able to help them bridge that gap. Once you start doing that, you're opening the door for them to be able to be leaders. Once they start building that level of autonomy and making offers, they're now looking to you to be able to understand what the leadership journey looks like. You're on your own leadership journey. Make it transparent for the people who work around you and invite them to be on their journey themselves as you go through yours. One of the things that I found incredibly effective as a sort of rule of thumb is that you want to be able to create coaching opportunities for you to coach your people. I think that all great leaders are effective coaches because there is no way that they can build the team around them to be able to deliver on their vision or deliver on the possibility that they are pursuing if they're not able to coach. But you don't have to be a professional coach. You don't have to be coaching all of the time. What I have found is valuable is you create a situation that you put somebody into that is stretching them a little bit, and you know that they're going to be somewhat uncomfortable. So it might be they come to you with an offer about fixing a breakdown that they know is happening on a recurrent basis for across your team. They put together a little team, an ad hoc team of 2 or 3 people to be able to go and solve this problem. And you invite them to do that. You help them craft the offer. You make sure that you're going to be satisfied. You make sure that they're delivering value and it's measurable value and something that they can be incredibly proud of. And you can be proud of them because they managed to make it happen. Know that there's going to be a 25% that they're not going to deliver the same way you would, that would not be as valuable as what it is that you would do, and coach to the 25%. So 75% of what they offer is going to be great. 75% of what they offer is going to be valuable. 75% of what they offer is going to be along the lines of what you would do. And there's going to be this gap. You're coaching to the gap. And you know what's in that gap because you would have delivered that yourself had you been doing it, which is why you're the leader. But if you're coaching to that 25% gap, what you're doing is you're creating an environment where people are going to be able to add value. You're paying attention to how you're building your own leadership. You're transparently sharing that with them and inviting them to start building their own capacity and their own practices. And then what you're doing is you're putting them in situations where they can actually deliver 75% of what you would have delivered, and you're coaching them to deliver that extra 25%. Now, that puts a little bit of extra work on you, but over time, if you're growing people in this way, you get this incredible lift coming up out of your organization, people taking things off your plate, people stepping into the 25% faster than you thought that they would, people building their own leadership skills because they're excited about what it is that you're doing. They see themselves invited into this space of building leadership. They see that you care about it and they're interested in providing value for you and supporting you in your leadership growth. So you're creating this tremendous upward lift opportunity for the people around you. And as you do that, what you'll find is they will be grateful and they will jump into those opportunities. As you start doing this, you're also going to want to start thinking about their ability to be able to get themselves promoted and how you work with them to do that. I have an assessment called the Get Promoted Assessment. Link down in the comments below, getpromotedassessment.com. Get your people to do the assessment. Do the assessment yourself and begin to open the door for that conversation, or at least prepare yourself for that conversation, which is an inevitable end result of inviting people to step into building their own leadership skills with your help. This is an incredibly important thing that you're doing, and I admire you and really want to support you in doing it. As you do it, let me know how it works for you. Let me know other topics that you would like me to cover on this YouTube channel. It's totally free to subscribe. Jump in there, let me know how it's going for you, and I wish you the absolute best of luck with it. This is a very important role of leadership, and thank you for doing it.